Yeah, another day on the Toyota today, the Tacoma. I think I traced down what our problem is. So we have a dead dimmer switch that is killing the lights, and we have a neutral safety switch issue. So those are the. I thought it was one issue that it wasn't starting, plus the dash electrically, and I've narrowed it down to two separate problems. So we're gonna get to work today and see if we can fix it and get it started with a key and without jumping the box. So if we have to, we're gonna run a wire from fuse 11 on the interior panel to the starter relay pin 1, and that bypasses the neutral safety switch. So we may do that to test if it's bad. I'm gonna try and pull it off and see where we can go from there. So yeah, bear with me here. Let's go. Okay, pretty much got this washer right here. This thing wasn't even that tight, so that's not good. I'm gonna try and do this around the transmission lines if we can. Let's go there. Switch, there we go. Looks like it. See if we can open this thing up, clean it out possibly. Our connections. What the fuck, dude? That could be our problem. I don't look. Looks like somebody added some dielectric grease to it. Let's see what we can do here, okay? Let's stick it to the box. Give me a second. First off, there's way too much dielectric grease in here, and it's old, so somebody was fucking around in here. Seems to be the number one thing I keep saying about this Toyota. I don't really understand it. Somebody's been fucking around in here. Burn it. caked, but it's not. Let's see. Could be these contacts are fucked in here too. Let's see how we do it. Let's use a brush here. Use a wire brush on it first and see if we can get to clean up. BTAS, they sell multifunction silicone grease. That's what we're going to end up using for this, okay? So we're going to use silicone grease on the bottom in here, okay? Spins, okay? Sitting about right there. So our contacts in here. We're going to fill our gaps. Okay. So we're going to fill it, but we're going to clean off our tips of the connections. Make sure they're clear. Just when we reinstall here, I want to make sure that this makes great contact here. I think it could have been, the switch could be dead. So that could be one thing that it's dead. It could be the interior switch part under the steering column or under the shifter that's making the problem, but I think it's mainly this. So let's clean this one out and see kind of what's going on. But open these switches up, you can clean them out, re-grease them, okay? Actually, because the pins don't look too bad, it was just way too much, and it wasn't dielectric grease, it was something else. I don't know what was in there, so we'll see. See, it freely spins now. Before it was locked up, it wouldn't really spin. So okay. Mr. Spider's still chewing in here. In there all the way. There we go. Okay. Let's get our mounting bolt up in there really quick. Let's use a 22mm wrench. You can use your open or your closed end or your open end. It works just fine. So it's a lot easier than getting a socket in there. If you buy this wrench, it's good for O2 sensors too. It's not a good, they're not a bad tool to have. So I'd recommend picking one up. cost me a boatload. You can get them on Amazon, they're pretty cheap. Okay, so we're good there. Let me just sink that bolt, so. Only have too many issues. You can go under the line like that and spin. So it works out for you. You can use a deep socket and like a 3/8 flex head, and that would help. Unfortunately, my 10mm socket, I think I got another one sitting in the car, but I lost it yesterday. So I gotta go back and buy another one here. My stupid ass keeps losing tools, so I gotta reach up in here with no light. So this one's a blind one to spin it by fingertip. Alright, let's give her a run. We'll see. I got no turn key on this. I'm pretty pissed, but let's give it a shot. We're on a jumper wire, so we'll see. Alright. Still isn't going. No, nothing. So clean neutral safety switch. Your other option. Is to run a wire from there through into the engine bay. Let's bypass it. Oh, this is something's fucking pushing here. You're gonna run a jumper, okay? Truck, okay? Before we run the wire, let's try it. Take it to work. So pin 1, ignition. It's not long. It's not going. 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 It's not going look at what we got right here. No problems that we find, I suppose. So let's find the tester in here. Let's see if we can locate it. It's tossed in here somewhere.
We can try and clean that one up and see. It's probably like 12 or some shit.
Wants to stall out. It has to be computer, dude. That's the only thing I can go through, is it has to be a computer issue. Alright, y'all, so that was my last day diagnosing the Toyota. So what it came down to was a partial payment issue with the customers, so I'm not going to be putting an ECU in the truck. I simply diagnosed it. So I ran through everything in that truck, every ground possible. I even found a couple of dirty ones and ran through them, and I did not find anything. So one thing I am wondering is, it could be that the ground that went from the battery to the frame was pulled out of the vehicle by a mechanic that may have not been paid or partial paid, got angry and freaked out and got pissed. Okay, so advice from old mechanics: if you go through something like that, don't go ripping shit out and, you know, being an asshole doing that type of thing. It's really not worth it. Okay, People are going to do that, you know, whatever, but don't be that guy. What you will notice is that God will pay you back, okay? So if somebody shorts you on a job, and like right now, I actually got double banged, okay? So the day before, I got shorted about $100 on a job, and then today I got shorted pretty heavy on it, and God will pay you back, so he'll give you a better job, or he'll do something where you get paid more or tipped more than you think. So don't be that guy that's running through cars and ripping shit out because you're pissed, okay? And I figured this out because they told me there was 5 or 6 mechanics on it. I think that once they can't figure out, or once they come up with a reasonable solution, maybe the guy just doesn't pay or something. People do that, okay? So don't be the guy that runs through there and rips shit out and is an asshole, okay? For me, it's your ECU. You know, I was there for a little while today. It's not a big deal. You let it go, okay? So when it comes to that, if you've tested your neutral safety switch, and when I bypassed a wire from fuse 11 to pin 1 of the starter relay, if it doesn't engage, you're going to have an ECU issue, okay? The only way it would jump was from the box. You give it gas and it wants to die. The pump's getting probably about half power, and the ignition's getting about half power. So I tried running a jumper wire to the plug on the dimmer switch, and it didn't fix anything. So that dimmer switch is probably good. It's all from the ECU. The fact of the matter is I replaced the ignition switch and the clock went out. And being that said, I am about 100% certain that that car has a blown capacitor in the ECU that's causing the whole thing to wig out, okay? That's pretty much the only thing I can think of. I ran through that whole truck, okay? All the grounds, all the electrical. I went through all of it to figure it out, okay? What I would say is when you get a no start like that, the first thing you want to go for is your ignition switch. Test it. The thing was that ignition switch was dead. It was chiming, but it wouldn't do anything, okay? So I replaced the ignition switch in it, and I got nothing but another power failure. It still has a dinging with the keys in there, so that's a buzzer that's using minimal electricity at the ECU. It's probably reading off of the capacitor that's partially blown, or maybe it's running off of a capacitor that's good. So it needs an ECU. I'll let the guy know. He's on his own with it. So running through those Toyotas, man, one of the first things I will tell you is that neutral safety switch is a problem, okay, on a lot of them. You can open them up, you can clean them, and you can and put them back in, and sometimes they just won't go. They're just blown from the inside. So it could be that neutral safety switch is good, okay? I re-greased it, I rebuilt it, whatever. But that ECU has major issues. I did notice that the shift lever, when you have it running and you start it, it still won't come out. So the switch in there that causes that stick to move back isn't working. So it's all related to an ECU capacitor that's blown. 9 times out of 10, you'll go to the junkyard and you'll find one if they have them in there, because people don't like to junk the Toyota Tacomas. People keep them. Pull one from the same era. Anything that's before 2005, you don't have to code the VIN. Anything that's 2005 and up, order it online and give them your VIN and code it, because you will go and pick up an ECU, throw it in, and it won't work. 05 and up, you have the VIN coded, and you have it coded by somebody that's an actual website, not no eBay shit. Don't trust eBay, okay? You want to trust something that's like an actual reputable ECU dealer, okay? Somebody who deals the parts regularly and flashes them and does all that stuff, okay? 05 and up. That first generation of Tacoma, you don't have to, as long as it's the same part number. So there's 2 or 3 different part numbers for it. If you get the same part number from the same generation and it's 04 and below, chances are it's just going to start for you. It'll be no problem. So that's it for the Nightmare Toyota. Diagnosed the ECU issue just like I thought in the beginning, but we went back to double check neutral safety switch and run a jumper wire to see if that would work from box to box. So what we know is that interior box is getting 0 power. No power at all. The battery is powering the external fuse box in the engine compartment, but the internal fuse box is getting nothing. That's because the ECU is shorting constantly. So, till next time, Lone Wolf, peace out.